Hi friends, today is Wednesday and we are going to get started on our math. I would like you to take out your e-learning packet and you will need to turn to day 3 of your packets. Day 3 looks like this. My packet does not have any page numbers, so unfortunately I can't give you a page number, but I can show you what's on what's on day 3. We've got these boxes right here on day 3. We've got some 3D shapes for day 3. The first thing that we need to do for day number 3, they give us this number line and we have to decide what the missing numbers are to fill in the number line. The way that we do that is we look at the first two numbers. We've got 13 and 14. If you have 13, how many more does it take to get to 14? Well, if you have 13, 14. So to go from 13 to 14, they went up plus 1. So my guess is that this is probably going to be a plus 1 pattern because in order to fill in the boxes, we have to figure out what the pattern is. And to go from 13 to 14, that's a plus 1 pattern, which means before we can figure out what goes in this empty box, we have to add plus 1 to 14. So what's 14 plus 1 more? 15. What's 15 plus 1 more? 16. What's 16 plus 1 more? 17, which they already have for us. What's 17 plus 1 more? 18. And lastly, what's 18 plus 1 more? 19, which they already have for us. So in order to fill out number line A, we had to determine what the pattern was. So we looked at 13 and 14 and we found that to go from 13 to 14, you needed to add plus 1. So we added plus 1 to every single box. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. All right, let's try to figure out what the pattern is for the next number line, which is number line B. We've got 15. Let's see how much it takes to go from 15 to 20. So if I have 15, let's count till we get to 20. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So to go from 15 to 20, we added 5 more. 15 plus 5 gives us 20. 20 plus 5 gives us 25. 15, 20, 25 plus 5. Well, let's see what that would be. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 plus 5 would give us 35. 35 plus 5 would give us what? Okay, I'm going to give you a second to fill that in. If you have 35, add 5 more. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 is what we're looking for this box. And 40 plus 5 is 45. So for number line B, we had a plus 5 pattern. Let's go to number line C. Let's skip to the numbers that are closest to each other, 16 and 18. Let's see how far apart 16 and 18 are. I'm going to start with 16 and count up until I get to 18. 16, 17, 18, plus 2. So 16 plus 2 equals 18. 18 plus 2, 18, 19, 20 equals 20. 20 plus 2 equals 22. 22 plus 2, 22, 23, 24 equals 24. 24 plus 2, 24, 25, 26 equals 26. So we figured out that this is a plus 2 pattern, but here's where it gets tricky. We've got to go back to the front of our number line, and we have to think, what plus 2 gives us 16? what plus 2 gives us 16? Well, we can actually work backwards. We can say 16, 15, 14. So what I did is I actually took 2 away from 16. Let me double check and see if this looks right. 14, 15, 16. Perfect. It fits my pattern perfectly to count by 2s. 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. Last number line. We've got 3 and 5. To go from 3 to 5, 3, 4, 5. We need plus 2 more. 5 plus 2 more, 5, 6, 7 would give us 7. 7 plus 2 more would give us 9. 9 plus 2 more is going to give us 9, 10, 11. 11 plus 2 more is going to give us 11, 12, 13. 13. So here's where it gets tricky. We know we have a plus 2 pattern, but if I add, let's see, if I take 2 plus 3 and put 5 here, that won't make sense because then it'll be 5 plus 2 more would be 8. 8 plus, that's going to throw off our pattern. So here's where it gets tricky. We actually have to work backwards a little bit. What is 3 take away 2? If you have 3 and you take away 1, 2, you're just left with 1. Okay, and let's see if this works. Does 1 plus 2 equal 3? Yes, it does. So our pattern looks good. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 3. It's going up by 2 every single time. All right, now we're going to look at 3D shapes. 3D shapes are shapes that are not flat. You could hold them in their hands. They have more than one side. We call the sides faces, okay? So this first shape is a cube. This first 3D shape is a cube, and the faces are just the sides, okay? It's a fancy way to say sides. So the cube actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces or sides. 6 faces or sides, okay? That's the cube. Over here we have the rectangular prism. Okay, see how it looks like a rectangle? Actually, I'm sorry, that's for the next one. This one is our pyramid. Okay, how many faces does our pyramid have? Remember, faces are the same thing as sides. So if I was holding this pyramid in my hand, it's hard to tell on paper, but it would actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces or sides. Okay, down here is that rectangular prism that I was telling you about. A rectangular prism has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. Okay, and then this one is interesting. This is our cylinder. Looks kind of like a can of soup or a can of soda, and our cylinder has 1, 2 faces. 1, 2 faces. Okay, now, which one of these shapes do you think does not go with the rest? If I had to pick one of these shapes to get rid of that I think doesn't really fit with the rest, I would have to pick, let me get my highlighter, I would have to pick, oh man, it's not going to let me do it, darn. Let me see if it'll let me. I'd have to pick the cylinder. If I had to get rid of one of these 3D shapes, I would choose to get rid of the cylinder because do you see how the cylinder doesn't have a face in the middle? It's completely round. It goes around. None of the other 3D shapes have any roundness to them, okay? So the cylinder, and it only has 2 faces. All the other 3D shapes have 6 faces, 5 faces, 6 faces. It says if you had to pick another shape to get rid of, which one do you think would not fit with the rest? I would say if I had to get rid of one more shape that doesn't fit with the rest, I would get rid of the pyramid. And the reason why is because the cube has 6 faces or sides, the rectangular prism has 6 faces or sides, but the pyramid only has 5 faces or sides. Also, the cube and the rectangular prism seem to go together. Do you see how they kind of look the same, except the rectangular prism has just been stretched a little bit, so it's a little bit longer. All right, for our last challenge today, it is our job to make 47 cents in 3 different ways. We have to make 47 cents using quarters, dimes, nickels, or pennies. Just as a refresher, I wanted us to take a quick look. Okay, I wanted us to take a quick look at our money. We've got the quarter here. We know that that's worth 25 cents. The dime right here is worth 10 cents. The nickel is worth 5, and that penny is worth 1. Remember, we are trying to make 47 cents. Okay, 47 cents in 3 different ways. Well, I always think the easiest way to make it is by starting out with those big coins. That's a quarter, right? Quarter's the biggest in size, and it's the biggest in value. It's worth the most. It's worth 25 cents. So I'm going to start by using a quarter. And that quarter, make this a little bit bigger for us. And that quarter is going to be worth 25 cents. Okay, what can we add to the quarter to get up to 47 cents? Well, I'm going to add a dime. A dime is worth 10 cents. So now we've got 25 cents plus 10. 25 plus 10 is 35. So we're getting close. We're at 35 cents, but we've got to get to 47 cents. So I'm at 35 cents. I'm going to add another dime. Remember, dimes are worth 10. So now I've got 25, 35, 45, and I'm going to add 2 pennies because 2 pennies would be worth 2 cents. Okay, so just to refresh, I've got 25, 35, 45, 46, 47. 47 cents. But I've got to do it in a different way. How else could I build 47 cents? Well, I could take a 10-cent dime, plus another 10-cent dime, plus another 10-cent dime, plus another 10-cent dime. And I'm going to stop right there because that would equal, let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, that would equal 40 cents, but I'm not finished just yet. I've got to get to 47. So if I have 40 cents, I could add a nickel. A nickel is worth 5. So 40 plus 5 equals 45. And I'm going to add 2 pennies to get me to 47. So I've got 45 plus 2 more would give me 47. Do you see how I used 2 different combinations? I used a quarter, dime, dime, 2 pennies, and I used dime, 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 nickel, 2 pennies to get me to 47 cents. To finish up today, I want you to think of one more way that you can get to 47 cents. There are lots of different combinations that you could use to get to 47 cents. So on your paper, okay, where it says making change, draw or write what you would use to get to 47 cents. All right, friends, that is all we are doing today. So if you have any questions, please reach out and have a wonderful day.